0320 is then our subsequent events working paper. And we have 3 parts to the worksheet, and there obviously is very good reason for 3 parts. Firstly, events occurring between the date of the financials and the date of the auditor's report. The second one is between auditor's report date and the issue date of the financials, and of course part 3 is going to be after the issue of the financial statements. And those are 3 very important sections, because those are the 3 sections that the ISAs are also referring to. And for each one there is a slightly different approach, and there are procedures. So just looking at the first one here, inquiring of management and where appropriate, those charged with governments as to whether any subsequent events have occurred which might affect the financial statements. Okay. Record of work done. So who did you have the discussion with? Again, if you want to create your own working paper as a template, that's great. Otherwise, just go and document in these cells if it's not too much. Were events identified occurring between the date of the financials and the date of audit report? If you say yes, go and there are additional actions. Okay. All right, so there are various steps to take, and this is before you actually sign the audit report. So if you are busy doing a RAC file and you're about to sign the audit report, you would need to try and get to at least part 1 of 0320 before you sign that audit report. Go and have these discussions with management. Once that audit report has been signed, we then need to consider part 2. For very many entities, many of the entities that I'm sure many of you will audit, that is the same day. Signature and issue date are the same day. So there probably won't be too much that you need to assess between these 2 dates. However, do just be aware of it, and what it's basically asking you is list subsequent events. What are these subsequent events? How did you become aware of the matter? Discuss with management, and it takes you through a process of deciding what impact this is going to have on our audit report. Do we adjust our audit report, or is it an event that is not going to impact our audit report because it's not material? So that's what you do between audit report date and the issue date. And then lastly, once we've issued the financial statements, again, the process is similar to part 2, but we're going and documenting what new information have we found out. So has management suddenly taken out a big loan, or have they suddenly disposed of a section of their business, or any one of those events. And it's also, again, taking you through what steps you need to be following. So just look at question 7, for instance. If management amends the financial statements as a result of information that became known after the financials were issued. Okay? And there is that whole decision tree in the ISAs about what is an adjusting event and what's a non-adjusting event, what's a disclosure event where you just need to disclose the information, you don't necessarily have to change the values. There's a whole decision tree around in the background there, so please do understand what the ISAs are asking you. This is just where you can go and document these processes that you're following, and it'll give you a guide as to what you should be considering. So that's the events after the financials have been issued in part 3. I'm not going to really say anything more. Subsequent events, very often a forgotten portion of the file along with going concern, but important to go and give an indication that you have considered things appropriately between the time of the audit and when you're actually signing off those financials. And of course, the longer it takes from your audit completion date to when you sign those audit reports, obviously the more documentation you're going to have to look at. So hopefully you're not delaying audit reports too much.